Welcome to English Literature. Today's poem, Fire and Ice by Robert Lee Frost. Let's see about Robert Lee Frost. He was an American poet, known for his realistic depictions of rural life and his command of American colloquial speech. Frost frequently wrote about settings from rural life in New England in the early 20th century, using them to examine complex social and philosophical themes. He was born on 26th of March 1874, San Francisco, California, United States. He died on 29th of January 1963, Boston, Massachusetts, United States. He was influenced by poets like William Wordsworth and John Keats. He had children Leslie, Carol, Marjorie, Eliot, Eleanor, and Irma. He got educated from Harvard University, Lawrence High School, Dartmouth College. Frost's remarkable works are The Road Not Taken, Mending Wall, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, The Gift Outright, Purchase, Home Burial. This is one of Frost's longest poems. He got many awards. He won 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry, one in the year 1924, 1931, 1937 and 1943 for his collection New Hampshire, Collected Poems, A Further Range, A Withered Witness Tree, respectively. So 4 Pulitzer Prizes were awarded to him for his collections New Hampshire, Collected Poems, A Further Range and A Witness Tree, respectively, in the years 1924, 1931, 1937 and 1943. He was also awarded with Poet Laureate, United States Poet Laureate in the year 1958, Bulinzen Prize 1963. Being a famous poet, some of the famous quotes from poetry are, he says, "Half the world is composed of people who have something to say and can't, and the other half who have nothing to say and keep on saying it. I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." He says, "Never be bullied into silence. Never allow yourself to be made a victim. Accept no one's definition of your life. Define yourself." He goes on saying, "In 3 words I can sum up everything I have learned about life. It goes on." Now coming to the poem, it's a short poem. Fire and Ice is a short poem by Robert Frost that discusses the end of the world, likening the elemental forces of fire with the emotion of desire and ice with hate. It was first published in December 1920 in Harper's Magazine and was later published in Frost's 1923 Pulitzer Prize-winning book New Hampshire. Fire and Ice. The figure shows how the earth is covered with fire and ice, and the poem deals with the end, the total destruction. Coming to the poem, Fire and Ice. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. Let's read it again. Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice. These are the meanings. Desire, a wish, a strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. Favor, when you feel or show preference for something, you stand up for something or you recommend. Perish, to die, fall or expire. Suffice, to be enough or adequate or sufficient. Summary and explanation of the poem Fire and Ice. Frost's poem Fire and Ice is a strong symbolic poem where the fire is used as the emotion of desire and ice that of hatred. He has used the idea of two groups who have their own possible explanation for the end of the world. One is of the opinion that fire alone can destroy each and every possibility of life on earth, while the other thinks that it could also be destroyed by ice as a result of extremely low temperatures. It could cover the earth's surface. It would lead to the end of the world. Let's see again. Now, Fire and Ice is a symbolic poem. Fire is used to show desire, greed, whereas ice stands for hatred. And he uses the idea of the two groups, which both of them stand the same thing, end of the world. One group is of the opinion that fire alone can destroy each and every possibility of life on earth. As he says, two groups. The other group thinks that it could also be destroyed by ice as a result of extremely low temperatures. It could cover the earth's surface. It would lead to the end of the world. Both the components are compared with self-destructing human emotions, desire and hatred. That is, both are capable to destroy the earth. In short, the world, humankind, human race. The poet is originally of the opinion that he has been very closely associated with the fiery desires and considers it capable of bringing human beings on the verge of destruction. Thus, he considers fire as more competent for destruction. But then he thinks that icy hatred is just as capable of ruining humans, though slow and steadily. So not only fiery desires, but icy hatred is also enough to ruin humans. It acts as slow and steadily. Therefore, if earth was to end twice, ice would be just as good as fire. So if there's a possibility that you can destroy the earth twice, then ice is also as good as fire. If a fire would lead to rapid destruction, ice would lead to silent damage. Similarly, if the fire is pure passion, ice is rapid destruction. Thus, the poem very artistically underpins the philosophy that will let our emotions rule us, and if don't control them, they will surely bring us all on the verge of chaos. We need to control our emotions, especially the emotions of greed, desire, hatred, indifference. These are enough to ruin human race. So it is very important that we control them. The theme of the poem, the poet here suggests that destruction is inevitable. It can't be avoided. The poem uses forces of literal destruction like fire and ice to symbolize desire and hate, which the poetic speaker suggests will likewise lead to destruction, if not of the world itself, then of the people within it. It implicitly suggests that the world's destruction is a result of humans letting their emotions rule them rather than controlling them. It is very essential that we have control over our emotions. So the poem deals with destruction of ice due to human emotions. If the emotions are not in control, the human emotions are put forward in the form of fire and ice. So the whole poem deals with the theme of destruction of the world. Some poetic devices. The rhyming scheme of the poem is A B, A B C, B C, B. We have metaphor here. Fire as a metaphor is used for desire, passion, greed. Ice stands for hatred, coldness and indifference. Symbolism. Fire symbolizes intense emotions like desire and passion. Ice stands for hatred, coldness and indifference. We have alliteration. Repetition of same sounds at the beginning of or closely connected words, such as repetition of the S sound in some say, F sound in from what I have tasted of desire I hold with those who favor fire, the first sound in favor fire. Additionally, we have the W sound, the word in world will, adds to the poem's musicality and emphasizes the destructive nature of desire. The imagery here is particularly the visual description of fire and ice. It helps the reader visualize the potential destruction. As we read the poem, we can feel the event happening right in front of us. All senses are evoked. The poem evokes fiery passion of desire and the cold, rigid nature of hatred. Enjambment, a sentence or idea that continues from the first line to the next without any punctuation mark. Very interesting. For example, from what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Now see, from what I have tasted of desire, there's no pause. The line flows to the next. I hold with those who favor fire. There are numerous poems and rhymes where you find the use of enjambment. Personification, where inanimate things are provided with human characteristics. So personification, inanimate things are presented with or provided with human characteristics. In the poem Fire and Ice, both are shown capable to destroy the earth. Both are non-living and are provided as if they are humans and they are capable of destroying the earth. We have anaphora, repetition of a word or expression at the beginning of two or more consecutive lines. For example, some say is repeated in the beginning of lines 1 and 2 of the poem. For example, you see here, some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice. That some say gets repeated in the beginning of both lines. That is anaphora. I can read from a nursery rhyme. For example, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. In both the lines, that Humpty Dumpty gets repeated in the beginning. That is anaphora. Now coming to the next, we have assonance, repetition of the same vowel sound in different words in the same line. For example, here the O sound gets repeated. I hold with those who favor fire. See, the sound gets repeated. We have antithesis, where two contrasting and directly opposite destructive forces have been the hallmark of the poem. Here, two opposite ideas like fire and ice are shown. That is an example of antithesis. That was all for this poem. If you need any other poem, you can comment. Thank you.